Hi everyone,
Hello.
Matt Emerella here for another update. I think this has been our third one in 3 months, so we should
Yeah.
probably get better at it. So what new? A lot of things are still the same. I'm still waiting for my residency to get approved. I applied for a 5-year residency.
hmm
We
But
have
you got the temporary one. Yeah,
yes,
the 2 month one.
right. We have a car.
Yay.
We took a trip to Budapest in Hungary
Mm-hmm.
last week for our 2-year anniversary
Yeah.
of when
Happy
we met.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary. And yeah, things are going well. So I was going to talk about some of the things that have just become commonplace for
Mm-hmm.
me in Albania that weren't before. So I have some props. So first is I make coffee every morning in this
Jazz.
Jezva, so Turkish coffee. You just fill it up with water. You put the turkey. Oh my god! You put the coffee,
No turkey
no
were
turkey.
informed
You
in
put
this
the
video.
coffee right in it, and you boil it or heat it up, and then you pour it into the cups. And that's how we have our morning coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we go out to cafes, we have espresso.
Yes.
Second thing is Albanians are very clean about everything. So I have 3 different pairs of sandals. Or slippers. First, these are my house slippers. These are the ones I wear around the house, and not just me. You wear
Yes.
them too. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets
Yeah.
slippers.
And then shower. Got my shower slippers that I wear in the shower, and then of course, if I have to go out on the balcony or in the hallway, I have my outdoor slippers. So
Also,
and
because still outside it's pretty dusty and muddy when it rains. So yeah, it's not as clean outside. So that's another reason why we.
yeah. But I'm so used to it now that when we went to Budapest and didn't have slippers, it felt really weird walking around the
Right.
house. I felt like my socks were getting
Yeah.
filthy, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. As soon as you come to
And
the house, take off your shoes,
right.
put on your slippers. Yeah.
Yeah. And usually if you go visit somewhere, they will have extra slippers for
Yes.
you to wear. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. And last, I don't have it here, but the bidet. Really, really like the bidet. That's changed my life. So
Yeah.
I don't think I could go back to yeah. So what else? Oh yeah, and then you just get used to like going and buying one of these and getting your water and then coming and pouring this into a pitcher. Do you want to explain the water situation?
Right. So there are deposits under the buildings and people
Like
use
tank?
yeah, like a big tank of water. And sometimes if the water is not running all the time, the water is going to be still there in the tank for a while. So people are a little bit worried about drinking it. And so that's why you either buy water or you go fill them up. That's what we do. So we bought a few bottles in the beginning and now we get them filled with spring water, fresh spring water.
And where do we
And
do
there are
that?
a few places around Tirana you can do that, especially closer to Daiti, to the mountain.
And this is free. This isn't like going into a store
Yes,
and
this
filling it
is
up.
this is free.
It's
Yeah,
just like a
there is a faucet,
faucet.
and yeah,
And the water comes down from the mountain. So
the water comes down straight from the
yes,
mountain, and it's not staying still. That's the big issue. Other than that, the water is pretty safe. We use it
yeah,
for cooking, and I mean, it is safe for drinking too. Honestly, we drink water when we go to cafes and stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it's just like an extra, like, oh, the spring water is better. So
But there's these things are so light when they're empty that it's really funny because you'll have like 6 of them all in one hand walking them to go get filled up. So and then and these things get used for everything. So when we went to visit Rella's aunt and uncle in the countryside and they make olive oil, we got some olive oil in there. So but yeah, so it's really fun. So So we thought today, since we just passed Easter, 2 Easters, Catholic Easter and Eastern Easter,
and
and
Eid is approaching next
yes,
week
that we
weekend.
would talk
Yeah.
about religion in Albania. So do you want to take it from here, or do you want me to give an outsider's perspective, or how do you?
Yeah, let me.
You
So
start. Yeah.
Albania has three main religions: Islam and Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, and Roman Catholic. So historically, the country, because of the Ottoman Empire and, Rome was closed and Greece as well. So that's why that distribution of religions. But what happened, because Albania had historically, unfortunately, had to endure lots of wars and division and invasion. So people of all religions had to come together and fight for the country. So what happened is that country became first and religion kind of took a back seat, and that kind of sentiment had continued. And even now, after communism, religion got banned during communism. Lots of beautiful old churches and mosques got destroyed, unfortunately. Some of them got preserved. Many the priests and imams got imprisoned or killed. And people were not allowed to practice religion at all. And when communism fell in the early 90s, then people were able to practice religion freely again. But that sentiment of coming together and going beyond religion and being friendly towards each other remained. So the Albanian expression is that Feja e Shqiptarit është Shqiptaria, which means that the religion of the Albanians is Albania, is being Albanian. So there is a really amazing collaboration and co-living together in peace through the religions here. And even if you're an atheist too, you get by pretty.
It's very secular. I would say it's I've been to Sweden and Denmark and the Northern European countries, which are very secular, and I'd say Albania is just as secular. Like religion's not part of politics at all. Like no candidate ever talks about their religion. In fact, when you follow the different candidates or the prime minister online, like they're wishing, they're very busy because they have to wish Happy Easter, they have to wish the second Easter, then they're wishing Happy Ramadan, and then Eid, and you see it all out in Tirana. There's Happy Ramadan banners, and then there's Happy Easter banners, and it's great when you work for the state, right? Because you get
that's the perks of having three main religions and having many holidays. So all of the religious holidays of all religions, all three main religions are here respected, and you'll get off if you work for the state and sometimes for the private sector as well. Unless you're in the service industry and working with people, then you will get all of those religious holidays off, which is really nice. Yeah.
But you rarely religion never comes up, and in fact, people never even talk about it or say what the religion is, unless I'd say one of the few times was we were having brek the other day with that, and the owner and his wife were talking to us, and he was just saying how much he liked us and how friendly we were, and he said, and I mean this from the heart because
I think that was a water
I
bottle.
think people are taking water bottles outside. I don't know if you heard that, but
yeah,
I think someone just threw a bunch of water bottles downstairs.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm fasting right now for Ramadan, so this is from the heart. But that wasn't a religious statement. That was more of he wanted to show how honest and
he is being sincere and genuine. And usually people will tell us that you will not hear Albanians fight over religion, have an argument over religion. They will have an argument over what? Politics, yes.
And I said in the US you're not supposed to talk about money, religion, or politics, and that one family we're talking to, they said, well, everyone talks about money here. It's very common. People ask you how much money you make. If you bought a car, they ask you how much you spent. They tell you spent too much. Once you tell them what you spent.
And if
politics, people will argue politics.
Oh yes, definitely. Very passionate about politics. And of course, because politics here touches everybody, because it's still, a country that is struggling economically. So that becomes really important, because politics really, most of the times your job depends on it. Unfortunately, still people are still scared that if the political system changes, then they're going to lose their jobs, or those who are going to come to power, they're going to lots of nepotism still, or at least there is
so not jobs based on economics, but jobs based on political
Yes.
patronage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's very. But if you tell them that you like, if I tell people that I'm a Buddhist, they'll be like, "Oh, what's that?" And they will ask questions about it, be curious, and they won't like try to, have a argument about it.
Yeah.
They'll say, they'll be very
They'll usually say something like, "Oh, that's just like in Islam." Or,
right.
"Oh, that's
Yeah,
just like
they'll
yeah,
find similarities between
Yeah.
main religions, which there are lots of
Yeah.
similarities, and you can have a very nice conversation.
yeah."
Having that, and it's really actually very
It's no one cares.
we've had
about
some
religion.
great
Yeah.
conversations with people, about, because you start talking about religions and you talk about what, or lack of religion, secular, and you talk about what's common in them, and the love for each other, and being kind, and being generous, and being compassionate towards each other. So yeah, it's very
Yeah.
we've had some very kind conversations like that.
But people don't care to the point where they forget, because like I've with your parents every once in a while they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what religion was Matt brought up?" Like it's
Right,
not something
yeah.
even. It's like, "Where are you from?" or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? And I mean, I guess as an outsider, you don't, like I said, you don't encounter it much at all. Like no one talks about it. It's not, politicians don't talk about religion. There's not a lot of moralizing based on religion. Like, oh, you shouldn't do this because God's gonna
Yes.
punish you or something. Or, but you notice it like you'll notice when you're up north, you'll see crucifixes and things like that, because that's more the Roman Catholic part.
Yes.
Because it's close to Italy. And then when you're in Central Albania, like we are, you see mosques everywhere, and you hear the call to prayer all the time, but you don't really see, like, the call to prayer happens and you don't really see many people get up, and it's not like everyone's running to the mosque.
No, I think, despite the official numbers, nobody really knows, and I think there is still that, because of communism, probably because of the dictatorship, but there is still that belief that religion is mostly private, and people respect that as a private choice, as a personal choice, and mostly like a tradition, cultural. So if I say, oh, here I am from Elbasan, and they'll say like, oh, there are lots of Muslims in Elbasan, or if you say I'm from Korça, they'll say like, oh, there are like more Orthodox in that area. So we see religion more as a tradition, as a cultural representation, and then the belief part, or being part of the spirituality part, comes second after that.
Yeah.
And
I notice when you watch some of these old Albanian movies, there'll often be some, especially the comedies, often it'll be like the priest and the imam having a little conflict, but kind of a funny, more of
a funny way,
like a funny way, like like it's like they'll be like, oh, that's so typical Muslim, or oh, you're a Catholic, but it's not like, it's almost like in a joking
so. I think as long as the government stays secular and the public institutions here stay secular, this is it's a great country to be, because of being the government and the institution being still secular, very secular, then there isn't much interference. So the religious communities don't have much say into issues like we're seeing in the States, for example, like abortion. We don't have that.
Yeah. And there's like, just here in Toronto, there's a big, beautiful mosque they just built. And then there's a big Orthodox church.
Yes,
there's
and a Catholic.
There's a Catholic one, but it's not as big, is it? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, but that's it. I don't know. It's 15 minutes. Do you think people want to hear any more? Or we could talk about politics, since we've already talked about. No,
we're not going to talk about politics. There is an upcoming election, the local elections in Albania, and we're not going to talk about that because it's, I don't know. I don't think we are. But also,
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah. Both of us don't. I haven't lived here for years. So anyway, so anything we said is our personal opinion. So we might, it's just what we see, which is just a little part of our world. So things might be differently. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Thank you for watching. That's it. So let us know if you have any questions or any feedback.
Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
See you next time.
Bye. Bye.